everybody, and welcome to our Williams Accounting and Consulting Court Wars Court or recap. We're kind of going to just go through a little bit of what we thought about the event, if people have questions, kind of talk to us a little bit what they thought about the event and the whole gig. So we're ready to get into it. We'll kind of start with the results. A lot of people have been wondering what the results of the actual event are. If you haven't yet read it, in the comments is a whole breakdown of the whole event, everything that happened, what our kind of view on it, and everything like that. But since Bobby was the commentator, let's have him kind of go through what the results of the event were.
Yeah, so thanks everybody for tuning in, and thanks to all of you who actually joined us that day in person and online to watch the event. It was really cool day for us. Obviously a learning experience as well, and glad you showed up. So I'm gonna go over the results. I'm not gonna get into depth. We wrote out a nice little recap of the day, the scores and everything, but I'm just gonna go and run through the list here. So our first match, we had Nikhil. And Adam is already prepared naturally with the scores right here for you. So Nikhil Prasad beat Antonio Rojas 11-2, 7-11, 11-7. Nikhil looked like he was going to cruise. Tato all of a sudden got some serves going and showed some moments of what he was when he was playing regularly and winning all of his championships. But Nikhil was just too much, a little more conditioned, we'll say, and ended up squeaking that one out 11-7 in the breaker and taking our first match of the day. Second one we had,
it kind of looked like Tato wanted to kind of puke towards that tiebreaker, basically. I think.
Yeah, and I have a gut feeling Nikhil in the second game took his foot off the gas just to punish Tato a little bit into playing a longer match because he kind of knew that going in, and because he won the first game so easily, he's like very confident. So, interesting match. I would love to see Rojas kind of get himself in better shape and maybe make an actual effort at getting ready for that match and having a little rematch there at some point, whether it be for a future Court Wars or a future tournament or just maybe like a one match deal that we do just for fun at the club and we stream it. So
yeah, imagine 3 months of him actually training, trying. Yeah, I could see that. I like that.
It would probably be pretty good for your health, Tato, if you end up seeing this, that you should probably be working out, playing a little bit. And I kind of want to see you play Nikhil in the future here I want to see you go a good, solid effort without you vomiting on the court. Anyways, our next matchup was Perea versus Mercado, and this was a really interesting match just because Mario started off so hot. He was rolling backhands like he did a few weeks ago in Arizona. He was serving really well, and Perea was just kind of playing his game. And I've seen this with so many times of Perea playing matches and me playing against him where he just stayed consistent with his game plan. And eventually Mario came back down to earth, and Perea ended up closing out 4-4 with his little backhand slice down the left side that Mario had no answer for. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good, and that's in typical Andre fashion. He kind of wears you down. Once you start not being as precise on all your shots, he's just going to be the consistent player that ends up winning that match. So,
Absolutely. And again, that was probably some of the highest quality racquetball we saw all day just because those players played so hard the whole match, and it's just a fun match to watch. So third matchup, if you ask Ellie, this was the matchup of the day, and it didn't really disappoint at all. Erica Mania versus Jessica Perea. Erica dropping the first game, Jessica rolling a lot of backhands early on and hitting the ball very well and moving Erica around the court. She took game one. Erica came in and served the best game I've ever seen her serve in my entire life watching her play, and I've watched her a lot recently considering working together and stuff, and it was pretty impressive. And I think if she can do that on a regular basis going into next season, she's going to be even more dangerous than she was this past year. So nice to see that, and she kind of continued that momentum going into game three, and then also some points that went a little longer, and she sent Jessica running around the court quite a bit, and I think that paid dividends.
Well, and I think with the stats that we were taking on, I think she had like 6 aces in that second game. I mean, just a clinic with
it was crazy. Even Jessica acknowledged it after the match.
Yeah, you can't even do much when that's kind of going down. So yeah, like he was saying, it was a serving clinic in those second Second game for sure. Third game kind of had some more rallies, but
Yeah, and that breaker, Jessica couldn't stay off the side wall at all. I mentioned a lot during the stream, but she was hitting the side wall quite a bit, and Erica was kind of just re-killing balls. And if Jessica can clean that up, I mean,
yeah,
it's always a big issue from when I watch her play. And if Jessica's watching this, maybe go home and work on not hitting the side wall as much. I know you guys like to pinch the ball, but it's the front wall side wall shots that really hurt her in this match. So good match overall. Erica ends up winning an 11-5 breaker, which brought us on to our third match of our doubles. And then we had Jake Bredenbeck and Sam Bredenbeck play Jose Diaz and Marky Rojas. And this is very one-sided. You could tell the sharpness that the Bredenbeck brothers had. Sam Bredenbeck was the best player of the whole entire day. He was unstoppable. Every ball he touched was a rollout. He even had a couple flick rollouts that were stupid. Not much to say besides the fact that Marky hasn't played for a while and he showed moments of being a great player, but just the consistency and quality throughout was too good for my home team from the 209, Diaz and Rojas. So
yeah, and you could tell Marky hadn't been playing as much, though he, there were moments of greatness there from him. I saw him hit a couple shots. I was like, okay, Marky, I get it. You've
yeah,
still got a lot of game, but just it's hard to come back after not playing for so long and try and match these guys that are playing every week. So
100%. So that's our last match. Obviously, they Alex Landa versus Acuna. This is one that I was excited to watch, and it was a weird match. Let me tell you, Acuna looked like he was going to completely roll over him. And first game looked great, crack acing, a lot of touch backhands. Nothing that Alex could really do about it. I mean, at moments he had little moments of like hitting good shots, but Acuna had complete control. And then the second game started, and it looked like Landa like just either didn't want to play or he's hurt. I don't know what the case is. I know he's been dealing with some little nagging injuries throughout Worlds and whatnot, but he just looked like he was done. He was checked out and put Acuna to sleep. Literally put him to sleep. Like just kind of lazy play, touching, made it seem like he was done, and all of a sudden he made a couple shots and ended up making it taking it to a tiebreaker. I don't think the second game was 11-1. Everybody, it was 11-7.
you're right. It
So,
was 11-7.
but he squeaked game 2 out, and then breaker. He looked like the normal Alex Land. He was running around, re-killing balls, hitting good serves, power from both sides. It wasn't as lazy. So, great match. Alex basically had some tactics here, and we talked about it a little bit on the thing. Alvaro Beltran's pretty good at this, and I think he took a page out of his book and used it against Acuna and holds his dominance over Acuna. And I think this match has kind of fizzled out now, and we'll see who Alex might play next.
And yeah, I mean, Landa just, yeah, exactly like you said, he lulled him to sleep. Acuna was so hot coming in, and it's almost as if Acuna just kind of took the gas off and just kind of was going to try and mess around a little bit. And then sure enough, and Alex does this all the time. And I've played against him and he's done the same thing to me, but he does it very well. And if you don't keep your foot on the gas, he's going to come back and work you.
Yep. So, yep, that was our matchups today. Those are the results. I know a lot of you who have not read the recap and stuff don't know, but those are our 5 matchup results, and I'm sure we're gonna have some questions about everything here. But I think we have some prompted questions as well, and we'll get to everybody's questions as quickly as possible here. So rapid fire.
Let's start with the first one. How do you feel the in-person part of the event went? Um, it went very good, very good. That was probably one of the things we feel that we did best in. We sold out the whole area. We had about 70, 80 people in attendance, and there was a lot of energy for basically 7 straight hours, and kept them very entertained and a lot of energy. I'm sure you guys could hear it on the stream. A lot of energy going through the building. So the in-person part of the event, I think, went very well. What about you, Bob?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it's my club, so I had a good feeling about it, and the setup and the vibe of the club is very close contact with the players. Once they come out, they're right on top of you. It's a bar above, and so everybody's kind of on top of the court, and it's a really cool vibe. And the fact that we got everybody there, it was no doubt in my mind that was going to be a really cool part of the event. And thanks again for everybody who showed up and supported. It was pretty awesome to have my home crowd of California at the event. It was very supportive. So
Absolutely. Next one. How do we feel about the online portion of the event? You want to go first? You want me to go
yeah,
first?
yeah. So the online portion, we had this big vision of what we wanted to do, and being completely honest with everybody at home, we were very naive of what it took to actually make that happen. And this will answer some of your guys' questions that I'm already seeing in the chat and stuff. But just some little aspects that we really, really wanted to do. We need a bigger team to do, and that's just the facts of the situation. Going into, we thought our team thought we could get that done, and we missed on a couple things. So noted, acknowledge the fact that some of the stuff did not happen that we really, really wanted. I know there's two specific things that I really wanted to happen for this event, and they did not go as well as planned. At the same time, I really, really enjoyed the fact that we had all the graphics and the preparation we had to have some of the background from the players and that stuff. I thought was a really cool touch, and I know that some people appreciate that as well. So I know we have a question here. I'm actually just going to skip over this question here right now. Sean Duffy asked, "What happened to the on-court mics?" We had an on-court mic, and from my end in the ears, I could hear the players, but from my understanding, it was really hard to hear them on the stream, and that's on us, and it will be addressed. We had on-court mic as far as a mic actually on the court and not a lavalier, which is going to be the next step for us. We're going to buy some really nice lavaliers that don't have big boxes on the waist. And we're going to put them on the court, and again, that's on us for not really having that, and there's no excuse
Absolutely.
for it. So
Yeah, exactly. That was one of the big things we wanted to do and had full intention of doing it, but the execution was just not there. So that's on us, and that will be things that we are thoroughly testing before we do this next event. Um, yeah, but Bobby was the one that was definitely streaming on there, so he didn't kind of get to see it like I saw it, but I think that he did, and John did a very good job of commentating and calling the match how it was. I think they did a very good job of explaining what was going on and going through it. So I think that part was a big success. And telling the players stories a bit. I think we can always do a little bit better, but I think we did a pretty good job of that. And I think we hyped up the event, which was really good, and brought a lot of good marketing towards it. So, but as far as the online portion, definitely court mics was a miss. Absolutely. Well, we
replays.
know that 100%. And replays of stuff, we definitely need to get better at that. And so next time we buff up our production team and we make it that much better.
Yeah, I think it's a big thing that people at home. Again, those of you who are live will see this right now, but I know some people will come back and watch that. Take note that we are aware of all the issues that happen, whether it be online with the production that we put, or some of the issues that some people might have at home streaming. Okay, I know
Yep.
some of that stuff happened, and we're addressing the situation, and that we're not just ignoring it and saying, oh well, whatever, like it happened, you guys paid. No, it's not what we want to do. We want to make this an event that people are excited to do, and you get what we think racquetball deserves, not what you deserve in each individual event. But I think at some point here, the way we're approaching this, I think that all of racquetball should be on board with doing this because it's what we need. So
Absolutely. The golden question, Bob. When is the next event? Will we have another Court Wars?
yes, I can pretty confidently say that we will have another one as soon as possible.
As soon as
Literally as soon as
possible.
possible. If we can get our stuff together and make one happen in 2 months, it'll happen. But there are some things that we need to kind of sit down as a team and address, and then obviously there's um, some logistic things as far as like sponsors and where we're going to do it and when we're going to do it and what club we're going to do it at, and is COVID going to be an issue. Like, what people don't understand is how much that affects having an event, and not just our event, all events. So and on top of that, we will not do another one until we have a production team that can provide what we envision in our minds. Otherwise, we just host an IRT stop or something like that, and we just have a regular event and stream it, and super awesome in every way. But for us to do this specific type of event, we have a goal in mind. So we have to get a full production team with a lot more people than we expected. We had 2 people on the production team, and we probably should have like 4 or 5 times as many people. So
It's
just to give
insane.
everybody at home a little reference of like how much more help we need from people that already know what they're doing too. Like, I mean, Adam and I are no experts when it comes to production, so we're not much help on that end. Yeah. So we just have a nice vision in our mind of what we want to do. So
Good. Um, Perfect. What do we feel went well for the event? I'll do a couple first. I think our in person went very well. I think we had a nice little platform stadium seating, not your typical bleachers that you normally see, or not just chairs. We had nice tables for everyone. We had chairs, a platform, nice area for the sponsors, plenty of upstairs viewing. So everyone kind of had a really good seat to the action, which we think went really well and looked very well. We took care of the players very well, which I think was one of the non-negotiable things that we said starting this, coming as players. The number one thing was to make sure you know we're taking care of the players as fellow players running this. So I think if you talk to any of the players, they've all told us nothing but great things. And when we do run this event again, they're ready to come back and compete again because it was very well handled. And so those two things, I think the hype that we were able to bring before the tournament, with the press conferences and kind of giving a little backstory, I think that was really well. Of course, we can totally improve on that, but a lot of the players like doing that, running for the belts, having a championship like that. I think we went really well on that. What about you, Bob?
yeah, I ditto to everything you said there. I think overall the event happened. I think the most important part, or 2 most important parts, is one, the players. Like you said, we're players, so for the players not to feel like it's a chore to show up to a one event like that and almost resent being there. I think we had really good feedback, and we asked all the players for feedback immediately following the event, and we got all really good. Like, we loved every bit of it. It was really cool. And there's a couple things that they had some suggestions as well. Nothing super bad or anything. Just, I mean, these guys are in the same spot as us, and they want to improve, and they know if the event gets big and if racquetball gets bigger, that they do better as well. So I think that was really good. And then yeah, I just think the in person went really well, and the
Yeah.
support was awesome. So
And one of the last things, I think almost every single person can tell you who was the title sponsor of this event, which I think is very, very important as well. And if you don't know, it's right on the screen here, Williams Accounting and Consulting. This event does not happen without Donald. So big kudos to him for stepping up as well.
yeah, very good.
And then last one, and then we'll get into some of the other people's questions.
Yeah,
Uh,
what are you looking to improve?
yeah. Um, you
Everything,
know, What
everything.
yeah, I mean, this is our first time around. There were plenty of hiccups. I mean, we had audio hiccups, we had the court mic hiccups, there was a lot of stuff that,
Internet
you
went
know,
down for a second.
yeah, I mean, we've had issues, and we're not gonna go about that and say that didn't happen. We had some issues. It's our first run around, and we're writing it all down. We're figuring out how that doesn't happen again, and we go from there. But everywhere can have improvement. Everything from the press conferences to the marketing we do beforehand to the viewership of the in person to the online. Everything can do better, and we are very driven to make every single part of this event better.
Yep, ditto. I don't have much to add to that. I just think that we can improve on every little aspect in every way, which is kind of cool that we did a really cool thing that we envisioned, and the fact that it happened, and we do have a base to work off of is pretty awesome. So
Absolutely.
we'll go ahead and
Well,
go into some. Let's get into some questions here.
yeah, let's see. George, what's up, man? How's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for the support.
See you at 4 o'clock.
Um, Steve, what's up, man? Appreciate it, man. Yeah, we were excited about it. Ice bringing in Cole, little Cole Sentry action. Let's,
Here's the deal.
Ice, how about you tell him? How about you tell him to step up and make it happen himself? Call him out. Give us tell why should he come? Tell him to be a little vocal. Tell him to be
There's
a little
you
vocal.
here's a fun thing for everybody at home is that when we found out Timmy was hurt, we immediately told him to take care of himself. And um, the reason Antonio Rojas was brought in is because he made a little bit of a call out on Facebook. Go to his
Mhm.
Facebook and check it out. You kind of see like, hey, what are we talking about here? And so it was an easy transition for us. So for those of you who might want to try to, make a play at the bell, you get, maybe go to social media. It's a lot like
Yeah,
boxing and stuff and MMA and, you know, maybe give it a
let's
go. If you want to hop in there, Cole, gotta
yeah,
call him
come
out.
on. Let's make it. Yeah, Sean, we talked about this. We brought your question up earlier. Yep, something we didn't execute properly, and will definitely be fixed for next time. Absolutely, absolutely.
Nacho.
Nacho, you're my man. Thanks for coming. One of the VIP members of our event. He's the man. Jamie, what's up? How was the visibility in person? Was any stadium setup necessary? Yeah, we basically had a little stadium setup. We had viewing up top. We had a platform of like high top tables and chairs, then normal section, and then in front of that was all the sponsors. So we created our own little stadium seating, and people really enjoyed that.
It'll be interesting going forward if we stick with this platform kind of exclusive kind of setup, or we go to full stadium seating. I think it has a lot to do with the venue we use too. If we have a
Correct.
lot of people in the area, we might have to go bleachers and stadium setup in
Correct.
our own kind of way just to fit more people. Because I definitely think if we had more seating, we would have sold more
Correct.
people.
We
More people
sold
would have
out
like in-person
within a month.
tickets, and it went really well. So that's something we're gonna have to address again. The other thing we can improve on.
Yeah.
But overall, it was very visible. Nobody had any issues seeing. And then this one's another one we're going to be addressing here, and I think we're going to get away from what we did. Did we create uniforms? So Beast Made Clothing,
Yeah.
Jake
Shout out to
Bredebeck and
them.
Sam Bredebeck, they created the shirts that the players wore for this event. But I think going forward, we're going to have players wear their own sponsors. I know they all have their own sponsors, and again, this is nothing official, but I think all these guys have people that are supporting them to play, and we'll go from there. So we'll see. And I think it'll come off a little better for some players. Um, yeah,
And we'll see. The shirts were pretty cool.
yeah, shirts are very cool.
Very,
Kind of
very
upset I
cool.
didn't get one somehow.
Yeah, me neither. What happened? What's up with that?
Yeah.
All right. Ice, appreciate it, man. Yep, we're learning, we're living, and it's good stuff. Flatty free day.
Hey, don't you
Jamie.
hate on my guy, all right?
I think it was a solid start, like the first. Exactly. Yep. We got it launched, and that's the important part, man. That's the important part.
I
Um,
think one thing again is the concept of the event, right? It's not a tournament. It's a
it's an
It is an
event. It's
event,
an
and
entertaining
it's
event.
very curated to what we want to see or what fans want to see or what players want to play in close matchups. And I think the fact that it's not a full bracket, it's just one day thing is a really cool idea. And that's probably the biggest thing that we are proud of is that it's not a tournament. It's that kind of event. So
Cool. Um, in
there we
person,
go.
yeah. Nacho got. I mean, he was right in the front row there. He was right in the front row. He got it. Um,
We try to tell Tato not to have too many beans before he plays. Sorry about that, Nacho.
uh, thoughts on refing? It's it's controversial, but here's the deal. Here's the deal about refing. No matter how good you are, there's always going to be close calls. Yes, did did Wayne have some calls? Yeah, here and there, but you know what? He stuck in there for 6 matches. He's also was able to take all the heat. I know you guys could hear the crowd saying, "What was it? Bad call, ref," or what
All
was it?
kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
All
all
kinds
kinds
of
of stuff, and right in Wayne's face, and that's whole part of the energy that we bring. And so Wayne did very well, especially because he's not a professional ref. He's a player like us. So um, we're definitely keeping it in mind.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think one thing to note for everybody at home is I actually thought Wayne did a really good job coming into the event. Um, there is no tour or any official rule book. We were playing by pro rules, but we had mentioned to Wayne like as long as nobody's going to get hurt, let them play a little bit more. And I think that's a big thing that racquetball is missing right now. There's a lot of, I mean, watching the World Championships this time with all the hands up, all tournament. That's coming from me, who when I play, put my hand up a lot. was disturbing to see. And I think a lot of the reason why players put their hands up and stuff is because
Mhm.
they make those calls so often instead of just making a shot. You'll hear a lot of like older pros and some of the top pros now say, just make the shot around him. Do you watch like one wall racquetball? They have to make shots around people. You don't get necessarily hindered just because someone's crowding you a little bit. And I thought we had that, and thankfully it's not like a huge tournament where players are trying to rip each other's head off. But it could be something that racquetball could think about going forward, is saying, hey, you're allowed to crowd a little bit,
Yep.
right? Don't hit the other person in the racket violently, otherwise it's against you. Make a shot, and
Yep.
all of a sudden that brings in a little more physicality, a little bit more shot making. But again, um, nobody was hurt, and Wayne was definitely okay. He missed some avoidables and some vice versa, but eh, with that being said, we kind of we wanted a little bit more playing through instead of so much stoppage of play for
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah, and going off of that kind of Jamie's question, um, any changes you can make with the booth review? Yeah, and we've definitely thought about this and how we can do this effectively. One thing we want to make sure is that the matches keep playing, though, that there's no stall in the action. As you know, we only did one timeout per match. That kept everything flowing, full racquetball entertainment the whole time. But we're definitely going to be working on a streamlined way to do booth reviews because at the end of the day, to get the call right, that's what you have to do sometimes. But we don't want to do it where, they're it's becoming a problem. If you notice, a lot of the athletes, you can't argue much or to your point much because it's the call of the referee, right? You can't persuade anyone. It's just that's the call of referee and that's it. So it kind of helped our matches stay on point and there's none of the crap in the middle of it.
Yeah, we definitely we tried to figure out how we can make booth review work, and again, without the production team the size we need, it's just not doable.
Correct.
So
Correct. Enrique, thank you. Appreciate it.
appreciate
Appreciate
you
all the
watching.
support. Yeah, we're very happy with the start of it as well. Some of the top, yep. Nacho's the man.
Yeah, and
Nacho's
we
the
had
man.
that's pretty cool that we had so many players that are in the top part of the pro tour right now, and it was pretty amazing.
Absolutely. Are you
We're
going to
gonna
share
share
the
the
number of online viewers you had? Anything you plan in the future to track sponsorship impact? Good call. Good call.
everything.
Uh, you know, Everyone wants to know what the online viewers are. Basically, as a proof of concept that we have, we are happy with what we did, and the basic basis of it is that it was successful in as a proof of concept of will this be a model that can go forward, and that's basically the important part. And as far as tracking sponsorships, we're on that already. The team's putting together a whole marketing report for the title sponsor and what the views look like. The numbers are looking really good. Like over 100K views and engagements with our posts. So very, very good numbers. And the cool thing is we have 12 different players that are promoting it on their pages as well. So we get a whole huge audience of people. But yeah, one of the big things we're tackling is how can we create a promo code for the people watching to support those sponsors that are there with us, because it's a vital part of getting a sponsor to retain their sponsorship. Absolutely.
And let's get this straight, because I know there's some let's say instigators or people like to stir the pot at home. Adam is not saying we got 100,000 views on our pay per view.
No, no, no,
Okay,
no,
because
no,
I know
no.
some of you are gonna go like, "Oh, they said they had 100,000 views and blah blah blah." I don't want to hear that crap online right now. I will go crazy on you.
No,
So we're
through
not saying
all
that.
of the social media that we did throughout the 4 months, that's what it was, kind of deal.
Yeah. So that's our metrics off of like everything we did, marketing the event, during the event, post event. Okay,
Yeah,
not views on the stream.
yeah, yeah,
Again, don't
yeah.
go trolling on Facebook, please.
I love it. Ice, he's ready. Love it. Kyle, love it. Sponsors. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Jason, how can I see the games? They're still live on our pay-per-view site, so you can watch all the replays. I'll even post the link right here. You can get all the replays for $25. You go ahead and get them. The first match of Tato and Nikhil's on our Facebook page. But we have all the replays up. You can purchase those, and you're good to go from there. Do you think you'll keep the same streaming platform? Probably not. Probably not. It was a little bit of a pain. But we're definitely checking into that more. Another thing that we can improve on. It was a little wonky. So yeah, definitely something we're looking into. Oh boy, great event. What's up, Brian? Plan to watch it later in the week, but ended up watching the moment. Love it, man. Love it. I will pay again. Loved it that it was done, but of course, just racquetball life. Love it, man. Instant replays appeals, either linesman, maybe just one per game, old school. Absolutely. Absolutely.
If only you guys know the list of crazy ideas that we have for this, you'd be.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, old school matches have been definitely talked about. One, appeal per game. Yep. Or just one game to 21. Yeah, so many different ideas. And we're going to be playing around with all of them. So I
I have
appreciate
the
it.
most absurd idea for those of you at home, and once we do one, you guys are gonna be like,
Oh
"What the
boy.
heck is this?" And it's unbelievable. So
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
let's just say it's called a sabotage match, and I'll just leave that at
Oh,
that.
jeez. Oh,
Okay.
boy. Here we go.
Yeah.
Sabotage match. Yep. Write it down
What
in
was your
your notes.
biggest hurdle?
Biggest hurdle, I mean, definitely, I think the production. I
100%.
think, we, as coming from racquetball players never doing this before, we just kind of thought it would be, easier to do it. And now we have a lot more respect for that. So we're going to be putting the proper things in place to make sure that we're hitting that how we want to next time. A lot more thorough testing, kind of everything. But I think the production of the online part was probably what we think is our biggest hurdle.
For sure, production and then preparation on that end as well, right?
Yeah.
Preparation for the production, which we thought we had locked in pretty good, and we went above and beyond what we thought we were supposed to do, and it was still not enough. So I think as we get better at that, we'll be having it, and as we get a bigger team to do that, I think that's going to help that part kind of iron that out and run much more smoother.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, I like the way the shirts look too. It made everyone look very professional. You could see very, very good, and see who was playing, what the score was of that player. It was, yeah, we did like that. We definitely did. It seems like a lot of people they didn't know core was going to happen. Yeah, and that's on us too. We can do a better job of marketing, and so that's definitely something we can do. But we're uh, we take support of all the racquetball community as well. And the bigger we make this, the more it'll speak for itself too. So I appreciate the
I
comment.
also think a lot of players did know about it as much as some people didn't know.
Yeah,
I think the fact, I mean, it was being talked about quite a bit, so I was pretty happy with that.
this is what it was. Ref, you suck.
Right,
Ref,
yeah.
you suck. That's what it was. Um, all right. There's a lot of promotions on this, definitely out there. All the racquetball groups appreciate. Yep. That was the goal, man. Yep.
Adam,
Um,
you want to pull off the where are you looking to improve prompt?
yeah, yeah,
It
I
keeps
can
popping
do
up in
that.
my face, and I keep wanting to yell it out loud.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Could be one appeal each game per game that's put online. Yeah, that could be fun. That could be fun. Um, yeah, we've also thought about doing like what was the best match and doing a online popular vote for that. Who was the most exciting player. Yep, a lot of that stuff.
This is what I
Uh,
was going to talk about right here, Adam. This is a
what?
big. I mean, the swing hit point goes against striker. So this is Restrung Matter, Freddie Flores, who plays one wall in New York, and this is kind of where my idea comes. Like, yeah, like all of a sudden you have to make shots around your opponent, even if they're blocking your swing a little bit. Be the amazing shot maker you are. Maybe you never know. I don't know if we want to get completely away from what indoor is. However, there should be some changes. I think the stoppage of play all the time is a little bit much, and players take advantage of it, including yours truly. So
Absolutely. Rally scoring. Yep. We've thought about that. We've thought about how to do something like that. Siblings mixed doubles. It could be that could definitely be a thing. I kind of feel bad for the Parias coming up against us, but yeah, that could be a thing. Absolutely. Um, Jason, good. Glad you got that. Matt, another person that came down in person. Absolutely, man. Glad you had a blast. Absolutely. Um, Appreciate it, Freddie. Appreciate it. Wayne nominates Sawyer to be their official.
Actually, I think Sawyer would actually be a pretty good ref.
We that might be happening.
Huh.
All right, well that's it. That's it from everyone. If you guys have more questions, reach out to us. We're pretty open about everything that we're doing. And just know that this will happen again. It will happen again, and we're gonna do it as soon as we can, making sure that everything is covered and everything is improved greatly.
Yeah, and again, guys, those of you guys have questions, you can post on here after the video is done. If you have a question directly for Adam or myself, just shoot us a message. We're pretty good at getting back as soon as we can, and I think I think we have a good little pathway here to do something really cool and more cool than we just did.
Yeah.
And looking forward to the next one. So.
And then also, we gotta, of course, give thanks to the sponsors. This doesn't happen without them. Everyone, Donald, big kudos to him. If you guys need accounting services or anything for a business or personal, he takes care of you. So go over, take him, tell him we sent you. I know it's getting to that time of the year, so just do it. He's a good guy, and he has a very successful accounting firm because he saves a lot of people money on taxes and stuff. So go ahead and just check him out and tell him that you heard about him through us. Or if you want us to give you the contact info, we can give that to him as well. And then all the other guys, there was a ton of other sponsors that we had. We can, let me see. Let me just pull them all up just so that everyone knows exactly who all helped out. Because without them, this does not happen. And we're very thankful for our sponsors, but also we're looking for more sponsors as well for the next one. So Summit Funding over in Oregon, mortgage company, Dovetail by Design, Mike Kitkin. You guys know him. He's been kind of doing stuff with the IRT. Of course, Reaching Your Dream Foundation, helping all the players all the time. My boy down in Colorado here, R&B Sales. He does custom foam fabrication. Wayne Realty, selling houses in California and Oregon. Mike Byrne and Jason Samora. Doesn't happen without them. Our boy Billy Sarno, also another realtor. Live Like John Foundation up in Oregon. Thank you. Everyday Electric, electrician over in the Oregon area. Local guys, Lee Mazzetti, Tito DeGratis, and Infusion Solutions. Without them, none of this happens, guys. So we got to give a big shout out to them. And with that, I think that's all we got for today. Thanks for tuning in. And oh yeah, one more question from Ice himself. What about a Pro-Am Centurion match? I would love that. Again, maybe do that and we have the pros coaching them and they kind of pick who it is. Again, ton of different things that we can do with it, and a ton of ideas that we have. So none of it is off the board. Absolutely not.
That's probably the coolest thing about something like this is that we can basically do whatever we want and nobody can really tell us if it's bad or good. And we have so many options. It's not limited to having certain players there. We can run a really cool event with no pros.
Yep.
Like if we wanted to, we could run like kind of what they do in Jersey, right? With the Average Joe tournament. We can run something like that through this format. And I think it's a pretty cool freedom to have, but we'll see. We can go all those directions. Who knows? Maybe even some handball. Just saying. Nacho, if you're still watching, maybe let's find some beef matches in handball. Maybe I would love racquetball players to see high level handball. If you have not seen high level handball, it's crazy. It's crazy. These guys are so good. So yeah. I think there's a lot of ways we can go. There's a lot of paths we can go about it, and I think we'll be pursuing some of those. So
love it, man. All righty, guys. Well, that's it for us for today. We will see you guys soon. Enjoy the holidays. Happy holidays. And, we'll see you out there on the course.
I appreciate you guys all. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for watching the later one. Everybody have a good Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.